nice spot for them to come graze a little bit. Looking back towards the homestead house areas that way, so we got a good view of them. Today is unload day, so that's great news. Getting these logs off the trailer finally. We'll put them over here in our stack yard and then eventually get them over to the mill where we can get them all sawed up into lumber. And then, since I cleaned out the storage area, I'll have a place to stack some of it anyway. This will be a lot of lumber for sure. Got the logs unloaded. Now we're headed back. I don't know what's on the agenda for the rest of today, but we'll see. tractor parked. I don't know if you will notice this shed, if it looks familiar at all. Get back up far enough. See this? This is a section of our old house, just like my studio. It's the same. We cut it in sections and we actually hauled this piece over here with this roof line still on it, jacked it up and put it on this 16-foot trailer and hauled it from its home over there all the way around to over here. Now on my portion, I closed in part of this, like this section here would have been like right there. That's where my wood storage is, and then this part we took off. So anyway, that's another living piece of history here on the property. I went ahead and sawed up that one log that we put on the mill when we unloaded the trailer. It was fairly small, but got a few decent boards out of that one log. These are really nice. Probably about 8 inch, 7.5, 8 inch by 3/4. Then I got 2 more here and then 2 more over there that are about 1 inch. It always takes me a minute to remember how many turns for the sizing. So the first few I made a little thick, and these first ones too still have a little bit of the live edge on there. So, but the thicker ones will be over here because they won't bow. And then 3/4, that's a good size. We use that for siding all the buildings and building materials and things like that. So that'll be a good size. And I did also get a few of the thinner pieces here. This little stack here, probably about 5, really thin. And I'll use those for little woodworking projects and building for the crafts and stuff like that. In the 40s today, which is still a little cold for me, but it's supposed to get up to, I think, 60 something today. And then we'll have some type of Arctic blast come through. And I mean, honestly, I don't know if it's like this in every state, but Texas, especially where the portion that we live in, is just, it can be, like I think tomorrow's low is going to be 24 or something like that. So today it's going to be like 64, and then tomorrow night it's going to be 24. So it's just, the weather just changes from day to day. You just never know. So whenever I'm milling the lumber or the log into lumber, the sawmill has an adjustment. It's a crank here. I don't know if you can see this, but that raises the blade up and down to give you the thickness of what you're cutting. And so sometimes, and it'll only go down so far, like you can't cut all the way down to the metal, obviously. So sometimes at the bottom you end up with an odd sized piece. So what I like to do is take some really thin cuts off of it so that I end up with a good piece at the bottom. But you can see how thin these are. But I can use these for making, you know, crafty stuff, birdhouses, or when I clad the walls inside the house, it makes really good paneling because you just go right over top of sheetrock or whatever's there. So I can use this stuff for all kinds of projects. And when I do put it on the wall, I don't necessarily want it to all be exactly the same size or same thickness, I guess. I just like that look, almost like you were using pallet wood or something, because it can be different widths and different thicknesses. I need to take you and show you the guest bathroom. That'll give you a good idea of what I'm talking about. pictures of the pond. I don't know, I just think it's pretty. I just saw a fish jumping. I don't know why I'm whispering all of a sudden. I don't think the fish can hear me. But I always keep a fishing pole on the rhino, just for these such occasions. I know I saw him. I think it's really too cool for him right now to be coming up. We had one rogue fish coming up to the surface. It's just so quiet back here. I would really like to have like a bench or something back here, just to come back here and kind of chill out, but then you gotta mow around it and maintain it and all that, and then everything turns into a chore. You have to keep the grass down because we have a lot of snakes. I haven't seen those doe coming through, but again, we had a couple of really stormy days, and the flooding rain. I don't know if they hole up somewhere, stop coming through. They'll find it. It'll be good for the dead of winter too, because that's usually their hardest time to find food. And that's all. I mean, I just have it out, just to have it out to feed them. We do hunt. Well, I don't. My husband hunts. And grandson, granddaughter, but he has a deer lease that they go to, which if you watch my videos, you've seen us go down there a few times. I'm not against hunting. I don't know. I think it's more a patience thing for me, because it's the same with fishing. I like catching, not so much fishing. Guest bath. Get that clawfoot tub. Love it. But these are the walls that I'm kind of talking about. And you can see how this board is thicker than this board. And this is just a piece of trim, so it's just kind of random patterns. And most of this is actually pallet wood, but some of it I milled. But that's the look, that I like. So when I use those thin pieces of paneling, I can use them as paneling. It kind of gives me that look. So some of them might be 4 inches, some of them might be 6 inches. So the width of them is different, but also the thickness. So we'll have to have a day of just milling, and maybe even more than one day. I don't know. It's a lot, and then we'll have to go back and get the rest of it. So, but I enjoy it. I really do. There are certain things on the land that aren't my favorite, but I would still rather be doing that than, you know, working at whatever, some retail store or restaurant or something, because it's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. But, I mean, listen to that. It's so quiet. Here's some chickens and some woodpeckers, and that's about it. I like it. I would say that was a pretty successful day. Got logs unloaded, got the storage area cleaned up, got the one log sawed up that we put on the sawmill, but we'll have a day, probably a weekend, where we get everything ready and we'll just go at it at one time and knock it out. And probably wait until it's not super cold. But I mean, I'll do it anytime. I love working at the sawmill. So anyway, I appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see what we can get up to next time. Make sure you subscribe.